Okay, so the today's topic is the I think is your decision control structure. We can directly start with the decision control structure because whatever the data types that we have studied, and how to take the input, how to print the output, how to actually printing on the console, that we have studied in the yesterday. So let me share with my console. Okay, so this is my console. So on this console, actually, we are going to take the different programs. Okay, so so what we have done, yes, hello1.cpp, that is we have seen hello1. Okay, control, sorry, hello1.cpp. Okay, so this is my program that we have taken. Okay, so clear. Okay, next one is so we'll start with the next program, that is the nano, and suppose decision 1.cpp. Okay, so my program start with the hash include stdio, not stdio, io stream. Yes, io stream. And then the next one is I want to use the namespace std, yes. Then after that, int main. So this is your structure of your program, and every program need this structure. Return 0. Okay, now next one is, now in a decision control structure, actually we are we learn here the different control structure, like if statement, if else statement, and if else if statement, switch case statement, that we are going to see. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so let me share with you this screen. Okay, so if I'm talking about the decision structure, decision control structure. Okay, so is it a reverse one? Is it mirror? Is it mirror? Or are you?
This reverse, sir.
Yeah, it is reverse. So camera should be okay. 1 minute. So I need to change the position of my camera. Now, is it visible? Is it correctly visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you're talking about the decision control structure, so in decision control structure of your C++, very first one is your if statement. The second one is if else statement, and then after that if else if statement. Okay, so we'll see one by one how the if statement works. As you already have studied this topic in your C language, so can you recall it, how to write the if statement and what is the use of it? Can you able to tell me? If, and what we are writing here, and then the curly brackets are there, and here different statements are there, different statements. So what we are writing here?
Comparing to variables, sir.
Compare. What is called? It's called as a condition.
Condition, yes sir.
Okay, so it is called as a condition. Okay, so a condition means these statements are not executed every time. Okay, so this statement is known as a conditional statement. Now these are the conditional statement. The execution of these statements are totally depending on this condition only. If this condition is true, then only the statement get executed, otherwise it is not get into this block, it will directly goes out of this block if the condition is false. Okay, so in a program, actually, suppose if you want to do some statements execution, its execution is depends on one of the condition, then we can use the if statement. Okay, for example, we need to compare the two variables. So we need to compare the two variables. Just move, I mean sharing here the terminal. Okay, so here there are the two variables here. For example, first variable is a and the second variable is b, and suppose the a value is 13 and the b value is suppose 15. Okay, now I want to check that which one is greater one, a is greater or b is greater. So I need to check here the that condition with the if statement. So if a is greater than b, I can execute here, printf, not printf here, cout a is greater than b, and here endl. Okay, so here if the condition is true, then it will execute this statement, otherwise it will not execute, it will directly go outside this if and it will return 0 and the program get terminated. So it means that now this statement will not execute every time, the depending on that condition only, whatever the result of this condition, this statement, this inner statement will get executed. And this block represent, this curly bracket represent the how many statement is enclosed in your if part. You can have the more than one statement also. For example, I can one more time I can do here cout inside if. So I can do here one more time. Okay, so how many statements here? Two statements is the part of the if statement here. Suppose if I'm try to execute here g plus plus and then decision one dot cpp, and if I'm trying to run it dot slash a dot out, and then your output is nothing. Why the output is nothing? Because here the condition is, you can see here the condition is false here. If the condition is false, no statement get executed. But here if you make the value of the a is greater than b, now the condition becomes true here. If the condition becomes true, and if I recompiling it and I'm rerunning it, you will get output. Okay, so at first time actually when a is 13, the condition is false and you will not get any type of the output. Okay, but here when you change the value of a as 19 and b is 15, now the condition becomes true, and whatever the statement that you have written into your if statement get executed here. A is greater than b and inside if. So got it? So very simple example. But what happened, can you tell me what happened if I'm not enclosing this in a bracket? What is the output if this is 17, not 17, if this is 30? What is the output? Can you tell me? Yes, now it is your part. Can you tell me what is the output now?
So both the statements will be printed, sir.
Both statement will be printed. Definitely, perfectly. Have a look. Have a look. A is 13, B is 15. If A greater than B, A is greater than B, inside if, both statement executed. So just check it out here, only single statement get executed inside if. Why? Can anybody tell me why only this inside if get executed? Why not this A is greater than B is not executes. Can anyone have the answer? Anyone having the answer? Why only this single statement execute? Why not this one? Because this statement, yes, Jay Prakash, Chandramohan, it checks only first statement. Why statement? Because the block is not defined here. Here, if the block is not defined, at first time both statement printed, but here at that time the block is defined. Block is defined by the curly brackets. If you're defining the block, then now these two statements are a part of if. But if you are not giving this curly bracket, then what happened? Only a single statement, after the if, only a single statement after that if is the part of your if statement. And now this inside f is a compulsory statement. It's very similar like this one. Now see out inside if, this is the compulsory statement, and only see out a is greater than b, it is only the part of this if statement. So if I'm making this 19, then now the both statement get executed. Why? Because the first, that is a is greater than b, this statement is the now executed. Why? Because here condition is true. Now here condition a greater than b condition is true. This a greater than b executes, and then after that inside if this statement also execute, because it is the compulsory statement, and the above one is the conditional statement and the condition is true. So if you try to run this program, then you will get the output as a both statement get printed here. So got it? It is necessary to give here the bracket if you want to enclose, if you want to include that both statement inside the if. Okay, so remember it. So block is very important. Giving the block is very important. Actually in Python, actually the block is followed by the tab. Okay, but here in C and C++, all the tabs and the spaces are removed by the compiler first, and then your program get processes. Okay, so that's why the block, the tab doesn't matters here. Giving the tab, it does, giving the tab, it doesn't matter. Got it? Now this is the if statement, but here I can give here the else statement also. I can give the else statement. Now the need of else statement is, suppose if the condition is true, I want to execute this, and if the condition is false, I want to execute the another set of statement. Then I can perform the else part also. I can write the else part also. That is b is greater than e. B is greater than e. Okay. So here when to use else, if the condition is false, then we want to do something, then writing the else is mandatory there. But suppose if I want to execute the statement only if the condition is true, if the condition is false, we don't want to do anything, then there we write only if statement. And if both part we want to handle, true part as well as the false part, then writing if and else are compulsory there. Okay, so now if I'm compiling here, and if I'm running the program, yeah, a is greater than b, and if I'm modifying here, a is 13 and b is 15, then what happened here? Else part get execute. If statement get, if statement, the condition inside the if statement is false, so else part get executed. So got it? Very simple one, if statement and if else statement. So anyone having the doubt? So we can make the condition using the relational operator like greater than, equal to, less than equal to, and the not equal to. Okay, so using this 6 relational operator, we can make a condition here. Then the next one is the if else if statement. In a if else if statement, actually we can check the different condition. If the first condition is true, we want to execute something. But if the first condition is false, we want to check another condition. Then we can use the if else statement. Just like, for example, there is a marks that you are getting. Suppose the marks you are getting as 89. So you want to check that which division you are getting. So you can say that here, if marks is greater than or equal to suppose 75, okay, then you can say that I got the distinction there. Simply distinction. And suppose now there are the other possibility of the marks also. Suppose if you are getting the marks, is less than 75. If it less than 75, now there are the other possibility also. That is, you can have the first class or first division, you can have the second division, you can be also fail. So you can have the another condition, but this condition only check if the first one is false. If the first is false, then it will go to the else, and in the else we are having one more if. So if marks is greater than or equal to 60, so it means that if it is greater than 60 and less than 75, then you can have you are getting the first division. Otherwise, you can have one more else if the marks is greater than. Now the third if will be only check if the first two conditions are the false. If the first is false, then it will go to else part, and there is one more if the second also false, then it will go to the checking the third part. Suppose if it is 50, then we are writing here second division. And suppose if you are having the marks as a less than 50 also, but greater than or equal to 40, then you are getting the output as a suppose pass division. Otherwise you can place it here, you are fail. You have failed. Okay, so here we can say here, if we want to check the more than one condition, then we can use the if else if ladder. But you can see here the below conditions are only checked only if the first one is false. First is false, second is checked. If second is false, third is checked. If third is false, the fourth is checked. Fourth is false, then last else part get executed. So at that time, actually we can have this type of the if else if ladder. Okay, so what the beside is such shouldn't we write the else if marks greater than or equal to 75 and marks is less than or equal to marks greater than equal to 75 and marks is less than.
Marks is greater than or equal to 60.
Yes.
And marks is less than or equal to 75. If
No.
marks is greater than or equal to 60, it can be even distinction also.
Yeah. So what happened actually, your logic will be true if you are using the only else. If you are only using if na, if you are only using if, then only you have to write that two condition. If marks is greater than or equal to 60 and marks is less than or equal to 75. This will only valid if you are writing only if. But if you are using a if else if ladder, no need to write that condition. Have you got it? If the first one is false, what is the meaning of it? If the first is false, meaning What is the meaning of it?
Then it go down. Else
Yeah.
if.
It means that the condition is false, it will go else. Okay. Now, in what case it will go else? If the marks is less than 75. Okay. Now, when we come here, we can make sure that we sure that your marks is less than 75. It might be 50, it might be 40, it might be 10, it might be anything. So it is less than 75. But now we want to check that again. If that marks is greater than 60, now what is the meaning of it? Marks is greater than 60 and marks is less than 75. The meaning is same. Got it? So that is the advantage of using if else if ladder. If else if ladder. And here if the first case is true, it will not check the none of the condition here. It will not check any condition. That is again the advantage of using the if else if ladder. But if you are using only if statement, if you are using only if statement, every time all the if statement get executes, or every time, and for if first is true, it will check the second one also, it will check the third one also, it will check the fourth one also. Though that all the remaining if statements are false, but it is definitely checked. It will decrease your speed of your execution of your program.
So, but if you use else if marks is greater than or equal to 60 and marks is less than or equal to 75, even if you execute that, will it not work? So,
Yeah, it will definitely work, but no need to right now.
okay.
When you come here, it is definitely less than 75. So why you are again checking it?
Okay.
Why you are checking? You are wasting your CPU execution time. You already know that here marks is less than 75, so no need to check it. Okay. So here I am compiling it, and if I'm running it, so your output should be distinction. Okay, so distinction, you got the distinction here. Got it? Because marks is 89. So we can make this program as a user defined program. You can take the marks from the user, that is enter the marks, and then after that we are using cin and marks. Okay, now we will compile it and we will check all the conditions. We will check all the condition by giving the different. First condition is suppose 78, it should be print distinction. Second one, suppose it is a 67, so it should print first. If third one is suppose 54, it should print second. If the next one is suppose 46, then it should print pass. If the fifth case is suppose 34 only, so it is fail. This is known as a testing of your program. Okay, so you are giving the separate inputs and you are checking execution of the every condition. First is true, second is true, third true, fourth true, or fifth true. Which one is true? If the fifth one is true, depending on the user input, that should be your, according to the input, you should get a proper output here. Okay, so every time check your program for the each and every input. Got it? So that is the if else if part. So got the difference between this. As you say that here, you can also do the same program with the only if statement also. So if here, if marks is greater than or equal to 60 and marks is less than or equal to 75, then first, instead of this, instead of else, I can again put it here, marks is greater than 50 and marks is less than or equal to, not equal to, less than 60. It should be less than 675. And the last one is again if marks is greater than or equal to 40 and marks is less than 50. Okay, and here if marks is less than 40, then it will print this one. Okay, so we can check here for the different types of inputs. Okay, so very first one is distinction. So distinction, suppose 89, it should print distinction. Now second one, suppose 64, it should print first. Now next one is suppose 58, it should print second. Yes, correct. Next one is suppose 46, it should print the pass. Yes, correct. And the last one is suppose 20 marks, it get failed. So got it? You are getting the point. But here what happened, what is the drawback of the previous, what is the drawback of this program than the previous program? In a first previous program, actually, if you are getting the distinction, then you are not checking the remaining conditions here. But here what happened, first condition check. If the first is true, then distinction printed. But here the second is also checked. Now the condition is false. Third is also check, condition is false. Fourth is also check, condition false. Fifth is also check, condition false. So it will actually take the more execution time. It will take the more execution time than the previous one. So that's why better to use the if else if statement there. So got it? Everyone get it this point? Yes, I want the feedback, audio feedback. Yes, everyone getting the point? Yes? Okay. Okay, now next one is the switch case. So we'll decision2.c .cpp. Okay, so we started with the hash include io stream.h, and then using namespace std, and then int main, and then return 0. Okay, now next is the switch case. Now switch case means actually we put on the camera. Okay, now next one is switch case. So it means that here actually we are checking the different cases, different cases. For example, there is one variable is there, for example var variable is there, and we want to check the possible values. What are the different possible value of this var variable? Suppose the possible value of the var is 1, 2, 3 and the 4 only. Only 4 possible values are there. And according to that possible values, we want to execute some statement. These are the statement 1, this is the statement 2, this is the statement 3, this is the statement 4. So depending on that particular value of that var variable, we want to execute the different types of the statements. We can do the same program with the if statement also. If var equal to 1, if var equal to 1, then execute the statement 1. Else if var equal to 2, then execute the statement 2. So like that we can execute this program by using a if else if ladder also. So what is the actually need of this switch case? Actually using the switch case, your program becomes more readable. Your program become more readable. And how this switch case works, we will see with the help of this terminal. Okay, so there is one variable name as suppose choice variable. Okay, name as the choice variable. Suppose I want to take this choice variable from the user. So it is C out, enter your choice. Okay, so enter your choice, and then I'm putting here C in, and then choice. Okay, very simple. Now I want to check here what is the value of that choice variable. I can put it here. Your choice should be in between 1 to 5 only, in between the 1 to 5. Okay, so if I want to use here switch case, so the format of the switch case is, first write the switch. In the switch, which variable you want to check. I want to check the switch choice variable. So the statement is switch the choice variable for the different cases. So what is the first case? The case 1. So it means that here the statement is if choice equal to 1. If choice equal to 1, that is if the first case is satisfied, then what you need to do. Suppose I am printing here choice 1 selected, and after that you need to put their break. Now why this break is important, I will explain you. But next one is case 2. When case 2 is satisfied, so you want to print here choice 2 is selected. Again there is a break statement. Now next one is again case 3. So it means that when the choice is having the value 3, what you need to execute? You need to execute here choice 3 selected, and again endl, again break. Now next one is case 4. Choice 4 selected, again endl, again break, and again case 5 choice 5 selected and the endl, and again break 4. Okay, so here got it. So switch the choice for the different cases. If the choice you are entering the choice as a 1, it will print choice 1 is selected. If you are entering 2, choice 2 is selected. If you are entering 3, choice 3 is selected. For choice 4, and for 5 it is selected. But suppose if you have entered 6, then what happens? If you are entering the 6, so if you want to handle that case, then you have to write down the default case. What the default case is? It is the last else of the if else if ladder. If none of the case is satisfied, if none of the condition is satisfied, definitely the last case is satisfied, that is default case is satisfied. Okay, so if you are entering the choice as a 7, if you are entering the choice as 100, that is other than 1 to 5, then it will go to the default, and you can put it here, see out, please enter between only 1 to 5. So what is your statement for the default? You should put it here. Okay, so when the default case is satisfied, it will be printed as a please enter between the only 1 to 5 only. So got it. So we'll try to check this program. So GCC, not GCC, G++, and decision2.cpp. Okay, so it should be only iOS stream. It should not be .h. And just /a.out. So it will asking for the enter your choice. Now if I'm entering, now this is the testing time. First enter the choice 1. Choice 1 is selected. Okay, again run it. Now enter the choice 2. Choice 2 is selected. Perfectly fine. Now 3, choice 3 is selected. Okay, 4, choice 4 is selected. Next 5, choice 5 is selected. And suppose other than any, suppose 89, please enter between only 1 to 5 only. So we have successfully checked my program with the switch case statement. So got it, how to use switch case? So we can have one program here in which we can give the menu driven program. We can make a menu driven program. Just make that menu driven program. For example, you want to make a calculator. Okay, so you want to make a calculator. So there, calculator, where the choice one represent addition, choice 2 represent subtraction, choice 3 represent multiplication, choice 4 represent division, and the choice 5 represent, suppose even odd or any program, for example reserve. Okay, so there is a reserve for the future use. Okay, it is not implemented. Okay, so end L. Okay, so this is my menu, and now we are asking that enter your choice between 1 to 5, or instead of it we can actually remove this fifth category and we can put it here 1 to 4 only. Okay, so and we are entering that choice. So when a choice, so what is choice 1? It is addition. So for addition, actually what you need to do here, so we require the two variables. So the addition program, enter first number and then cin a, or enter the two numbers directly. We can put it here, enter the two numbers A and B. Okay, two numbers I'm scanning at the same time, and then after that we can put it here addition. Addition is equal to A plus B. Addition is equal to A plus B. So everyone getting this point? Everyone getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the statement that we have actually put it for the addition, the same statement we can put for the subtraction. So just I'm copy this and paste it here. Okay, so here instead of addition it should be subtraction, and instead of a plus b it should be a minus b, and this the statements here is deleted. Okay, now case 3, again paste, and here case 3 is multiplication, and here a multiply by the b, yes, and fourth case is division, fourth case is division, so it is division is equal to a divided by b. and we don't have the fifth case, so we are removing that fifth case. And here please enter 1 to 4 in between the 1 to 4. Okay, so we'll try to run this program. So everyone getting this program? What I have done, enter your choice, because I have not compiled actually. First I need to compile here. Okay, so compiled, and I'm running now. So when I'm running, so it will show the calculator, and it will ask for the what is your choice. So enter your choice. Suppose if I want to do addition, so 1, and enter the 2 number. Suppose 2 number is suppose 50 and the second number is 20, so your addition is 70. But here program ends here. So if you want to check it again run it. Subtraction, suppose 40 and 20, subtraction is 20. Again run it. So third of multiplication, so it is 5 and 6, so multiplication is 30. Again run it. Division, so 30 and 5, division is 6. So my program is perfectly running and it is perfectly correct. So got it? It's a very simple program that I have taken, but the drawback of the program is, what is the drawback of program? It will only run one time, single time it will run. So do you have any idea how to make this as a software, calculator software? We need to put it in a while one loop. So what is while one loop? While one is a infinite type of the loop. So it means that this program will run infinite time. This program will run infinite time. So this is the switch case and this is the, but we should put it here some end. So we can put it here, cout, do you want to continue? Do you want to continue? Enter Y or N. Enter Y or N. And it is C in. You can put the same in choice, but choice is an integer variable. So we put one more variable, character variable, ch variable, character ch. And we are putting here, do you want to continue? After having this addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, we asked to the user that, do you want to continue? Do you want to do more calculation? If it is Y, then again continue. And if it is N, if ch equal to N, if ch equal to N, then what? You need to break it. You need to break out of this loop. Very simple. Okay, so if it is N, then break, otherwise continue. If ch is Y, then it is continue. If ch is N, then break. So just we are checking the program, is it correct or not? So one addition, 35 and 15, so 50 is the addition, and it will asking that, do you want to continue? Okay, so if I'm pressing Y or any character, because I have not checked it for the Y, I have checked it for N there. So if I'm pressing Y, then it will again show the calculator. Again subtraction, 45 and the 21, so it is 24 is the subtraction. Again it will ask, do you want to continue, Y or N? So at that time, suppose if I'm pressing N, then what happen? Your program ends. So this type of the program is called as a software, where when the program has to be end, the user has to decide. If the user is deciding that this program has to end at that point, the user can able to exit it. Okay, so this is the type of your one of the software. So got it? So this program actually, this is your assignment, and the same assignment you have to submit on the WhatsApp group itself. Okay, so what you need to do, first you need to create a calculator. These four options I already created: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You need to add two or more things, like your exponential, that is a raised to b, or even you can even or odd, or the division or the remainder. If you want the remainder of the two numbers, then just implement two more options here. Enter the choice 1 to 6, and the remaining program actually you need to implement by yourself. This is my logic. You can have your own logic also. So got it? Clear? Everyone clear? Or any doubt? If there is a doubt, then you can ask me.
So you used the int main. Did you return 0, sir?
Pardon?
You used int main.
Yes. And the last
So
one
have
is
you
return
returned
0.
0?
Yes,
So if
return
you
0.
use void main, and if
Yes.
you use double for getting decimal numbers,
Pardon?
if you use void main,
Yes.
and if you use double a comma b, which is used for decimal numbers,
Double A and D.
double a comma b,
Huh?
so and you use void main instead
Where
of
you
int
can use
main.
double A and double B? Here.
Yeah, that time you don't need to return 0, right?
Yeah, we don't need a return 0. Yes.
So we can use for decimal numbers also if you use double.
I didn't understand actually your.
So you used int a comma b, right?
Yes, yes.
So
I'm
that is
using int.
not going to use for decimal numbers, like example 2.0 or
No, no,
something,
this is,
because it's
what is this int main? This is for the main function is returning an integer to a operating system. It is
yes.
not related to the integer, double, or something else.
No,
Okay.
no. Int a comma b is there, right?
Yeah,
After
here.
int choice, there if you
Yeah.
use, okay, now that function is only calling integers, not decimal numbers.
Yeah, this is double. If you're saying that if instead of int a and b, I'm using double
Yeah,
a comma b. Yes. So
yeah,
can I use it?
yeah, correct. So that's for decimal numbers, right?
No, no. Double number is not a decimal. It is a real number. Double is a
Oh,
real
then
number.
for decimal, is it float, sir?
No, no. Decimal, it is integer. Decimal with means with fractional point. I'm talking about with the
Correct.
fractional point.
Point, yes.
Yeah, with fractional point you can use either float or you can even use the double itself.
Yeah, that's what.
Uh, the remaining program becomes same. There is no
Yeah.
actually. You can check it out again. I'm compiling. Just I'm instead of using that int a comma b, I'm using here double a comma b. So addition, suppose 3.5 and 2.5. So it is addition is 6. Yes.
Yes, and one more thing. You're
Huh.
using int main and you're
Yes.
returning 0, right?
Hmm.
Instead of using int main, can I use void main
Yes, you
and
can use
without
void
returning
main.
0? That's all, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I can use.
Okay.
But actually I prefer it. I prefer to use the return 0. Yeah, there is a one error is generated because the G++ doesn't allow it. In your turbo C it is valid. In your turbo C you can use it, but in a G++ you cannot use it.
Okay, sir.
In turbo C, if you are using turbo C now, so it is perfectly valid. Void main you can use it. Okay.
Yes.
Never use void main. That is my suggestion to you. Never use void main.
So you used void main, but you did not delete return 0.
Yeah, there is a warning then.
So see if you can return 0 and execute void main.
There is a warning, that is function should return a value. I have commented that return 0. Okay, so here it is not warning, but there is a warning that if the function is, you are saying that integer main, it means that your function should return a integer, but if you are not returning an integer, there should be a warning. Actually the warning gets suppressed here.
Okay, sir.
Hmm?
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
it should throw the warning that your function should, but it is not error, huh? It is not error. So that is your choice. You are saying that your function is returning an integer, but you are not returning it. So that is your choice. So it only, compiler will only say that I can warn you that you say that your function is returning a zero, returning an integer, but you are not returning it. That is only warning. Okay.
Okay.
So any other doubts? Any doubts? A
So
small doubt can also be clear.
can we use if statement inside switch case, sir?
Yes, we can use if statement. We can use it here. For example, just add it. Yeah, for your demonstration, I can use it here. For example, the fifth case is there, even odd. Okay, even odd. I want to check a even odd. So it is 1, 2, 5, and I'm adding the one more case, case 5. Now how to check even odd? Can you tell me? First, we need
If
to,
it's divisible by 2, it's even, or else
yes,
it's
yes,
odd.
enter any number. Okay. Now here, if statement must use here. If A, not C in, first we need to put C in A, and then if A modulo 2 then equal to 0, then it means that it is even number. Else it is odd number. Got it? So we can use the if else statement here. G++. What is error there? A modulus 2. Okay, yes, there is an error because modulus operator doesn't works on double and float. So it should be integer. So now there is no error, and dot slash a dot out. Okay, so fifth is even odd, so I'm pressing 5. So enter any number. Suppose I'm entering the 45, so it is an odd number. Yes, you can see here it is a odd number. Got it? So you can use here the if else statement or any other statement in the switch case or any case here. Any other doubt? Remaining students, just tell me, can I move forward? Okay. Okay, so you look what type of the program structure I'm following here. The same program structure actually you should follow when you type the program. Okay, so all the statement inside the if, actually it should be placed at the one tab. It should be placed at one tab. Actually there is no error if you are putting this statement here itself, but it is more readable. Your program becomes more readable. And when you go for any company placement interview, and suppose if there is a practical demonstration is there, and in that practical demonstration if one of the statement you have given uh, and you need to solve it while programming, and if you follow the same structure so it will give the more weightage than the other one. So while statement should be at one tab here, switch should be at the one tab here, it should be all here. Okay, it should be all here, case 1. All the statement inside the case 1 at the one tab, after the one tab. So actually it doesn't makes that your program is not being executed if you are not putting the tab. It is only case if you are using Python. In Python, actually this tab plays a very vital role there, because there the tab represent the block structure there. But in C language, actually all the tabs and the spaces are removed before the compilation, so that's why no need to put it here, that tab. But here for readability of your program, actually you can put it here, all the tabs. Now if you see that program, actually you can easily read out, that is my program is an infinite program. In that infinite program, there is, this is the menu that I'm getting the choice, and then in the choice different cases, and that all the cases are again more readable. All the cases are more readable. Default case is also readable, and the last one is after switch case, yeah, I want to continue or not, and your program is terminated. Okay, so this type of the actually structure you have to follow for doing all the next programming assignments.
So
Okay.
one more doubt, sir.
Yes, yes.
You used hashtag include iostream.h before. Why did you remove .h?
GCC it is for the G++ and the turbo C. In a turbo C++, actually the header file, if you want to include now, so there you have to use the iostream.a. It is just compiler wise vary. Compiler wise it is varied. In G++, actually that .h is not used. It is only the actually header file .h is suppressed there. iostream only you have to use there. Backgroundly that file name is iostream.h, but in a front end, actually you have to use only iostream there in G++.
Okay, so if we use square root like math.sqrt, what's the function we should add another function, right?
Yes, math is the that
No, for calling the function.
for calling the function directly we can use na. For example, this one, suppose math
Yeah,
is, yes,
yeah.
and suppose if you want to use that power, so you can directly use power, POW.
Yeah, so
Or
for
suppose,
basically for any SQRT problems, you should write hashtag include math, right?
yes, yes, the same structure that in your C language, that you are following now, the same structure you follow in C++.
Yeah, okay.
This math.h is of the your C library. It is C library. So whatever the you are following your C language, that it should be follow in your C++. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Any other doubts? A very small doubt also you should clear.
So for going to next line is \n, right?
For going to the next line, it is backslash
N.
this one /n. This one /n.
Okay,
Hmm?
that's all.
Or otherwise, you can use this object endl. Endl object do the same thing. In an endl object, actually, when you execute that endl object, endl operator, it's not object, it is operator. Endl operator, the endl operator is your new line character. When you print the endl, it will print /n. Okay. So in C++, actually never use /n, use endl. Okay. Any other doubts? No? So we can move forward. Clear nano and loop 1 dot cpp. Okay, so now what is loop? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by loop? Okay, any one of you just explain what do you mean by loop.
So it's an iteration which goes on and on, sir, like from starting to the end.
Okay, so it is an iteration where we iterate. Iteration means executing the statements again and again is called as a iteration. Okay, so suppose these statements are there, suppose statement 1 and the statement 2. These statements are there. Are you able to see my screen? This whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so suppose these two statements are there, st1 and st2, and suppose you want to execute these two statements a certain amount of time. For example, 5 times, 10 times, or even infinite times. So generally, or you can execute this statement until some condition is true. If that condition, until that condition is true, you need to execute again and again, again and again, again and again. Okay, so there the if is not being used, because if you are using if statement, what happened? If and then condition. So if statement will execute this statement 1 and 2 only if the condition is true, but only one time. Okay, only single time it will execute. So instead of this, suppose you want to execute, or if you want to iterate it until that particular condition is true, we have to use the loop structure. The loop structure is generally used to execute the statement again and again, again and again until that condition is true or a specified number of times. So there are the three formats of the loops. So very first format is the while loop. The second format is the for loop, and the third format is the do while loop. Okay, for while loop, for loop, and the do while loop. So we will see one by one what done by while loop. So first is while loop, how it can be used. So while means the syntax is very simple. While, very similar like your C language, while, and we are putting the condition here. We are putting condition and curly brackets. The curly bracket is optional. If there is only single statement, no need to put the curly bracket. If you want to include more than one statement, the curly bracket is compulsory here. So here the different statement that we want to iterate. So here, until the condition is true. If the condition is true, it will go inside. If the condition is false, it will go outside. Okay, very simple execution of the while loop. So just I will write one program here. For example, there is one variable I is equal to 5, I is equal to 5, and I am putting the condition while I less than or equal to 10 brackets, and I'm printing the, not printf, cout I, and here I plus plus. So what is the output of this program?
It should print 5 and then make that I6 and come out.
So output will be 5, I think. So 5.
Only 5?
Only 5. Oh no, wait. I plus plus. So I think it's 6. I don't know. I think it's 5 only.
Only
5.
5. Okay. Other
If it's
answer?
if it's plus plus side, it will become 6.
It is 6. Okay. Any other answers? Everyone has to be try. Huh? So we'll try to execute this program. Okay. So this is my I value. Okay. This is my I value. The current value of the I is 5. Now what is my condition? Tell me. 5 less than or equal to 10. Condition? Yes. Condition?
It's
Yes.
true, so.
Yes, true. So it's true. It means that it will go inside. So what you are printing value of I? So 5 get printed. Yes, correct. Now what is the value of I becomes? I plus plus. I becomes 6. Now when it get execute the last statement, again it will go for the checking the condition. Now 6 less than or equal to 10. Again condition is true. Condition is true. So it will go again inside. The value of I get printed 6. I becomes 7 because I plus plus. Again condition is true. again 7 get printed, I becomes 8, again go for the condition is true, again it will go inside 8, again I plus plus, again condition check, again true, it will go inside 9 get printed, again I plus plus, so 10, again condition is true, I get printed, so 10, I plus plus, I becomes 11. Now here condition becomes 11 less than or equal to 10. Now condition is false. When the condition is false, it will go outside. When I is equal to 11, when I is equal to 11, it will go outside. So when you go outside now, so the value of I becomes 11. Got it? So everyone getting the point? J Kumar has given the correct answer before this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Yeah, correct one. Okay, so 5 to 10, this is my answer. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's try this program at your terminal. Using namespace std and then int main and then return 0, and then after that first one integer I is equal to 5, and then while I less than or equal to 10, cout I plus plus. Now there are two statements, so we need to give here curly brackets here. Control X Y G plus plus and then loop 1 dot cpp, then dot slash a dot out. We'll get the output as 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. If you want the answer in a separate line, then you should put here endl. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, correct answer. Got it? So everyone getting the point? While loop, how the while loop works? Everyone getting? Now tell me what is the output of this program. Just tell me the output. I have removed that curly brackets. Sorry. I have removed the curly bracket. Can you tell me what is the output? J Kumar. Can you tell me the output?
So it'll only be 5, sir.
Only be 5. Any other answer? Yes, Akhil Kumar. Okay, so answer. One of you are saying that the answer is 5. How many times 5? Can anybody tell?
5 to
Yes, 5. How many times 5?
6 times. 6 times, I think.
6 times. Okay. Chandramohan.
Just guessing, sir.
Yes, sir. Chandramohan. Other students are listening or me or not? Seven times. Yeah, Akhil Kumar says 7 times. Pudi This one says 7 times. Okay. Okay, so let me clear with your point with this example. Now what I have done in a previous program, actually this is the program and the output is 5 to 10. Now what I have done, I have removed these brackets. If I remove the bracket, what happened? I already told you, if you are not enclosing this two statement in a bracket, only single statement is a part of your while loop. Okay, so it means that this I plus plus is after the while loop. So if the condition is true, then only the I plus plus gets executed. Okay, now we will try to execute this program. Now I value is 5, so condition is true, so value of I get printed, so 5. Next time it will go again, 5 less than or equal to 10, condition is again true, it will go inside, again it will print 5, again condition is true, again 5 again condition true, again condition true. So how many times?
Infinite.
Yes, infinite. So get it, infinite it will get printed, because this I plus plus is never get executed. It never get executed because it is not getting here. So that's why you should make sure that if there are two statements inside the while loop, you should enclose in a curly bracket. If it is not in a curly bracket, only a single statement is a part of the while loop. So getting this point, are you clear with me? Are you clear
Yes,
with
sir.
me? Okay. Okay, so next one is just now this is infinite time printed. So can I show you the output? Can I show the output? Otherwise you understood.
Understood, sir.
Okay. So now tell me the output here. 10, 5. Okay. So tell me the output. So this is the type of your placement programs. In the placement programs, actually this type of question came. But actually this is more related to the C language. But you should have the clear knowledge of C language, then only you can start with the C++. If you have only a simple introduction of C language and directly if you are going to C++, then there is no, you can't learn the C++ deeply. You should have this knowledge, basic knowledge of the loops, as well as the decision control structure, how the data types works, all these things you should know. So tell me output. Yes, 0.
0.
It will print 0. It prints 0. On output is nothing, or it will print from 10 to 5 or 5 to 10. Garbage value. Akhil Kumar says garbage value. Yes. Abhinay Kumar Reddy, what did you answer? Nothing will be printed. Chandramohan says nothing will be printed. Okay, so try to execute by yourself. Okay, directly don't go for guessing the answer. Go for execution. Just like I is equal to 10. Okay, value of I is 10. Now what is the condition? 10 less than or equal to 5. Condition true or false? Condition is false. If the condition is false, then it will not go inside. Directly it will go outside, and the next statement is return 0. Your program terminates. So there is no cout statement is there. So you will not get any type of the output here. So no cout statement execute. So no output is there. Got it? Get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what about here? Now output. So I observed that actually your basics of C language is somewhat weak. So you need to revise first.
So
All
10,
has
9,
to
8,
revise.
7, 6, 5.
10, yes,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
6, 5. 5 is also printed.
Yes, so it will be, yeah, it will be.
Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Your name? Akhil Kumar.
Akhilesh, sir.
Akhilesh, yes. Only Akhilesh is responding. The other is not responding. Why? Akhilesh and Chandra Mohan and Akhil Kumar. These three people are only responding. Why other is not responding? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5. Yes, correct answer. Okay, so you should clear everyone should be cleared with that basics of C language. If you don't know the basics of C language, then learning the C++ is not for you directly. Because actually when you go for the C++, this topic is never being taught in C++. Directly they started with the object oriented programming. Okay, and if I'm starting directly object oriented programming, and if you are not able to do a simple programming program of your C++, then no, actually here you can't able to learn it properly. So this is while loop. What about the next loop? Do while. Okay, so now tell me the output. I is equal to 5, and do while. In a do while, actually I'm doing cout I plus plus, and then again while, do while. So it is
5,
semicolon
6,
is simple.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, so very first one is 5 get printed, then I is incremented 6, condition is true. Again 6 get printed, I is incremented, 7 get printed, I incremented, 8 get printed, I increment, I printed, I incremented. So until the I equal to 10, 10 get printed, and I plus plus, when I becomes 11, it will go outside. Okay, so actually it will give the same output as that of your while loop. So what is the difference between the while and do while? Can anybody tell me?
So while checks the
Irrespective,
condition.
once it will print, sir.
Pardon? Hello?
So for while loop, the execution is done after checking the condition,
Yes.
and do while execution is first done, then it checks the condition.
Yes, yes, correct. Okay, so what happened here? In a while loop, actually, first the condition check, then statement execute. Check the condition, then if the condition is true, the statement executes. But here in do while, actually statement execute after checking the statement, the condition is checking. After executing the statement, condition is checking, and if the condition is true, then only the second time the statement get executed. So the meaning is here in a do while loop, if the condition is false, suppose if the condition is false at the same, in the first time itself, it will execute the statement at least one time. It will execute the statement at least one time. So just take the example of this. I is equal to 15. So here 15 get printed, I becomes 16, and now the condition is 16 less than or equal to 10, and condition is false and it will go outside directly. But this statement is executed once here. So here if the condition is false, though the condition is false, the statement has to be executed at least in your do while loop. So where we can use do while, where we don't know that condition is going to true or false at the first time itself. We have to execute the condition, then next we are checking the condition. If the condition is true, then only we are repeating the same statements. Got it?
Yes, sir.
In our Hindi, actually, how many of you know the Hindi?
I know, sir.
Yes. There is one actually हिंदी में एक कहावत है, देखो, लाइफ में कम से कम एक बार कोई तो चीज करके देखना ही चाहिए. It means that actually in life, in your life, that everything you should do at least once. So here also, do the thing. If you like that thing, again repeat it. If you don't like, directly go for the termination, or do not repeat that whatever you have done there. So kam se kam ek bar you have to do. Got it? So that is a do while loop. Now next one is the for loop. Now for loop means simple. For loop is very simple. In a for loop, actually all the initialization, condition check, and the your increment decrement, it is in the same line, just like for I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. So this is at the same line. Okay, so on only by reading only one line, you can check that here how many times this condition, how many times this statement get executed. I starting value 1, I ending value 10, and every time I incremented by 1. So how many times? 10 times it will get executed. So that's why most of the developers are preferring the for loop. So on looking at the only one line, actually you can able to say that this loop will execute exactly at 10 times, 1 to 10. Got it? So that's why we can use your for loop. So just tell me the output of this program. Okay. Now this one, I have modified the program. Akhil, I have modified the program. Here it print I into n.
Yes. It's only 6.
Only 6.
1 into 6, 6.
1 into first.
Wait.
First value of I is 1. Okay, now the condition is true. Now when the condition is true, it will go for 1 into, now what is n? 6. So 1 into 6 is 6. So it will print 6. Okay, it will print 6. Next time I plus plus, I becomes 2. Condition is true. So it will print 12. 2 into
12.
2, 2 into 6.
2 into 2.
So the output
12.
of the program is table of 6. Okay, so it will print that table of 6. Okay, 6 1 ja 6, 6 2 ja 12. So that table actually it will get printed. Okay, so never actually you have to actually iterate you by yourself when this type of program is for your in your test na. So you have to iterate yourself. Just go for the I, memory I, and just change that value of I every time. And you just need to compare it. I equal to say I less than or equal to 10, condition true or false. Then you go inside. If the condition is true, go inside, otherwise go outside. Okay, so what happen if I'm not doing this I plus plus here, and if I'm putting this I plus plus here, what happened? Is any error? Yes, same output. Okay, so we will have the same output because the same execution is there. First I equal to 1, then condition is, if the condition is 2, it will go inside, and after this after the statement I plus plus get executed. But here we are not writing here any statement. So after this execution, then it will go for the condition. Then if the condition is 2, again go for this statement. So the same will be carried out. Okay, the same output you will get. Again, what happen if I am not writing here? I am writing here I equal to 1 here. I am not initialized in the for loop. I have initialized outside. Just tell me. Yes, Akhil Kumar. Same output. Yes, you have the same output because the same process get followed. I equal to 1. Now you are not putting here, you are not written here anything. So that's why directly condition is true. It will go inside. It will execute the statement, and I plus plus again condition. It is very similar like your while loop. But if only condition, if you want to write inside the for loop, this semicolon is very, very important. This semicolon is very important. Okay, if you are not putting here semicolon, then it will give the error. If you are not putting here semicolon, it will give error. The semicolon is important. And suppose what happened if I'm using this.
Same, sir. Same output. Same
Same
output.
output. If I
Semicolon is there.
If I less than or equal to 10, then perform this. Otherwise, if I equal to 11, then what happen? It will go in an infinite loop. It will print from 1, it will print from 6 to 60, but after that it will go infinite time. So to handle it, we can put it here break. We can put it here break. Now it is a same output. Okay, now it is same output. So when I equal to 1, now condition is check, now statement get executes, and I plus plus. Again condition check, statement get execute, I plus plus. It will go up to I becomes 11. When I becomes 11, it will go else part and it will break the loop and it will have the same output. We can check here output. Yeah, so output is 6 to 60. Okay. So no need
So
to
without else break, can you just teach that again? So without else break.
Okay, so I will comment it. So it is an infinite loop. Huh? So just look carefully. It is an infinite loop. It is not getting the next command prompt here. My prompt is not there. It is in a loop. Continuously it will is in a loop. So whatever I am entering here, actually nothing happened. So if I want to exit, I need to press Control C. When I press Control C, suddenly your program get terminated and you will get your prompt there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these points that we have covered today, actually you need to revise it. The decision control structure and the loop control structure, these 2 points you have to revise thoroughly. Then afterwards, in our next lecture, we will start the next topic, that is your data, your derived data types, that is your array. What is how that array has been defined, how the string has been defined, and the function, very important point, function, that we are taking tomorrow. Okay, so should we stop? Should I stop